Hello, welcome to this journaling hangout video. In this video, I'll be filling out another spread in my Hobonichi weeks for 2024, one of the last ones of the year in terms of dated pages I have, and I will be doing an anime journaling spread today. In terms of what supplies I am using, I have the regular bow and tie dragons cover. I'm using dual tip calligraphy pens that came in a set. And then the TWSBI fountain pen in extra fine. I already decorated and colored the pages prior to writing, and I added stickers as well, so I'll just be writing and filling in around those elements today. I actually filmed this at night, which is why the lighting looks the way it is. I don't have a set routine for when I journal, but I mainly did this entry at night because I finished that anime after dinner. So it was about that time and I wanted to finish it up that day. So that is why. The anime I watched is Castle Town Dandelion. It was 12 episodes and I watched it dubbed. I thought it was very fun and I really enjoyed watching it. It's about a royal family and their daily lives and as they approach the selection of their new king among the siblings. I liked how it had a mix of family conflicts but also loving moments, and the anime art is really great and it's my personal preferred style when it comes to watching anything about royalty and castle elements. Plus the magical superpowers that are shown in animes like this I really like. Now I will go into talking about journaling a bit more. Media journaling wise, I have been liking the size of the Hobonichi weeks. It is great, not my favorite, but it is great. Not too small, but not too big as A5 either. I haven't been following the dates at all for a while now in the planner, so I've been coloring over the numbers and along the edges for a look of a border. So I've been ignoring the dates completely. This is the Tomo River paper in the 2024 books, so I really am enjoying the feeling of writing with the fountain pen in here. I like how it feels and how it interacts with each other. I tend to scribble and write fast when I write, so my letters get connected or my fingers touch the ink. So I did have a couple instances of smudging, but I don't bother fixing it unless it's the entire word completely smudged, so I just leave it. Personally, I don't love the look of the smudge, but I also just at a point where I just accept it, and I actually got a few ink spots on the edge of the paper in the entire planner when I rubbed my stained fingers onto them by accident, but I think it's just a sign of use at this point. I first started this process of media journaling in my other hardcover notebook with movies I watched, and then I started getting into anime, which led me to make these spreads here. And I've been logging the movies I am watching in the back of the Hobonichi in the blank pages, but at this point I've just abandoned it as a planner, so it's a full-on media journal, just plain journal in general, where I just log movies, shows. That's what I'm mainly focused about writing in here right now. I don't really write about my hobbies in here. It's really just I have a good movie or a good show, I'll fill it out. I'll fill out a spread. In the dated pages, I'll fill out 2 pages of the same movie or anime, but then in the back I'll do 1 page per movie. So in terms of what do I even write about, and for example like what I'm writing about in this spread shown here is that I will include the title of the movie or the show, and I usually use markers or the calligraphy pen or the Tombow brush pens to fill those in to make it bold and to make it pop out compared to the finer writing of the fountain pen I have. And then I like to list the facts of the show and how many episodes there are, any directors or the key cast and actors if it's a movie, and then when it was released, what year, what season it was released if it was an anime, and then when I watched it. For a good filler, if you don't have much to write in terms of thoughts, I like to look up summaries online to copy down, and this is really nice as well because if I ever look back at my spreads, I can just read directly from my journal to refresh my memory about what the show or movie was about all in one place. I don't have to go look it up, it's because I already wrote it down there. And then after I write all those basic elements, I usually put down any favorite lines or quotes I caught while watching, and those I will also hand letter or use brush pens to make them stand out, especially if I want to remember them. Other things I've done in my spreads that for example, I'm doing now is that I'm talking about the characters in the anime, and then who I liked, who I didn't, any personality traits about them, or key visual aspects. And then if I have any favorite scenes or moments that made me laugh. And then as I close out the spreads, I usually give my overall review or thoughts of how the anime or movie was like. Did I like it? Did I enjoy it? Would I recommend it? And sometimes I like to include elements of my life as I'm writing as well. And what I mean by that is like, did I watch it casually? Did I binge watch it? Did I eat something and watch it? Did I watch it downstairs on the big screen TV, or did I just watch it on my computer? I like to include those elements. Those are just for fun for me to write about and document in my journal. And then I don't really think too much about what I write. I just pick up the pen, write something, write whatever I want to write. And it just comes to life in the spread, and I like that. So it's a great mix of elements I like, which is I like using colors and brush pens and markers. I like using stickers and the washi pictures as well. I also like to do bold lettering because I like to play around with how can I make a pretty title or like a bold title. So I really like that element. And then the key part is the writing, which is like how I felt about it, when did I watch it, any cool thoughts I have about it, any dislikes, or any favorite characters. Those are big for me, and that's what I like to fill it in with. I tend not to look back on my spreads too often, or at least not too soon. For example, I have some other journals in the past where I've documented what movies or dramas I watched, and it's kind of cool to look back at it because it's like a flashback about what I wrote about in terms of what age I was at that time. So it's kind of cool and kind of funny to see, oh, if I rewatch it now, would I feel the same way about what I wrote? So that's always interesting. So it's a good process because I like it in terms of like getting my thoughts out after I watch it, and then I kind of like put the anime or movie aside, like, okay, it's complete, it's done, logged in my journal, and I had a good time with it, and now I'm on to the next one. So I like that feeling about journaling. And it also is a great way to make me like feel creative and try to come up with new ideas in terms of the layout of the spread, at least, because my writing tends to be the same in terms of the content, obviously different in terms of what the actual show or movie is showing and how I feel about it. But in terms of like the format and like the routine, from like facts to like review at the end, it's pretty much the same. I might think about changing it up, but for now, I just like to do that to fill my spread. Not much else to that. And I am excited because I am approaching the end of this journal, so it's not so much of a burden, I would say, in terms of filling this out, but it's just I'm at a point where I'm like, I'm ready for 2025. I like the Hobonichi weeks a lot, and I'm very happy I got it, but I'm also at a point where like I'm ready to change my style, so I'm trying to finish this journal up and this planner up so I can move on to the new one. But that's the end of this little hangout. I have one more spread to go in terms of anime, and then we'll be done with all my dated pages. So until next time, bye bye.